Hi guys, JT here. Today I'm bringing you some information on 10 games in Fanatical's Play on the Go bundle of February 2026. To help me answer the question, should you buy it? By using the links in the description below, you'll gain access to this bundle and support the channel in the process. Before we begin, I want to thank you the viewers for watching my silly videos. I hope they're helpful. Most importantly, knowing that you're watching it means the world. But first, a word from our sponsor, JT After Dark. You've read the threads, you've seen the warnings, but you haven't heard them like this. I'm JT. I take the internet's most terrifying stories and give them a voice. From Reddit's deepest archives to the legends that haunt the web, I bring the horror to life. Join me on JT After Dark. Subscribe now and let's see what's hiding in the shadows. Anyway, let's get into this. At number 1 we have Spirittea, a wholesome life simulation game with a ghostly twist, featuring a lush pixelated aesthetic and a familiar setup where you move to a new, quaint but haunted village. After drinking a magical cup of tea, you gain the ability to see and communicate with troublesome local spirits. Your main task is to restore an abandoned bathhouse, turning into a sanctuary where these pesky spirits can relax and communicate. The game is packed with lively characters and a wonderful town to explore. You must constantly juggle your time, which is primarily consumed by running the bathhouse and building friendships with the local NPCs. Making friends is essential, as maximizing your friendship meter allows you to recruit them for help with day-to-day tasks and drive ghosts to your business. This mechanic is brilliant, as it builds a strong sense of community and makes every resident and ghost feel energetic and fascinating. However, the balance is a little off, as the never-ending hectic list of tasks can feel overwhelming, especially if you play this genre for a more chilled time. The demanding nature means you might struggle to keep on top of everything, making the relaxing background music occasionally juxtapose the high-energy workload. The minigames themselves, while charming and easy to understand, can also become repetitive, such as singing karaoke for the millionth time. If you can look past the slightly skewed work-life balance, you'll enjoy the heartwarming personalities and the impressive replay value. Spirittea is a charming and addictive title that manages to put a nice twist on old ideas. Your ultimate goal is to appease every spirit, run your business, and keep those ghosts happy, offering a great experience if you love this genre. At number 2 we have Tomb Raider 1-3 Remastered. This remaster brings the original PlayStation trilogy to modern platforms with upgraded visuals, optional modern controls, and all DLC included. You can toggle between old and new graphics instantly, much like in Halo's Anniversary editions. These are still the same classic games at their core, with all the puzzling, platforming, and exploration that define the series. However, the remaster's strict loyalty to the originals is both its strength and its weakness. The modernized visuals stay true to the blocky level design, making some areas look more outdated than enhanced. Worse, the lighting changes can obscure key objects that were once easy to spot. The biggest issue is the modern controls. While they offer smoother movement, they weren't designed for the rigid platforming of these games. Lara sometimes fails to grab ledges or runs off platforms, making precise jumps frustrating. The original tank controls are still available, but they feel just as clunky as ever. That said, this is still the best way to experience the trilogy today. If you're a longtime fan, you'll appreciate the faithful recreation, even if it does not add much beyond visual polish. Newcomers might struggle with the stiff controls and old school design, but those willing to adjust will find 3 excellent adventure games. While this remaster does not hit the level of Crash Bandicoot or Spyro's revivals, it preserves Tomb Raider's legacy well. The game holds up, but you may wish the remaster did just a little more. At number 3 we have V Rising, a game that stands out in the crowded survival game genre with a unique take on vampire survival. In this game, you step into the shoes of a resurrected vampire, surviving in a world dominated by humans. You aren't the usual overpowered vampire trope. Instead, you start from scratch, constructing your castle, gathering resources, and hunting for blood to grow stronger. The game poses challenges, requiring strategic thinking and resourcefulness. Combat involves battles against vampires, humans, and nocturnal creatures, with the added complication of being vulnerable to sunlight during the day. The diverse enemies and demanding boss encounters promise substantial rewards for your efforts. Despite a lack of major marketing, V Rising received positive reviews for its innovative approach to survival games and robust crafting and action mechanics. Selling over 1 million copies in its first week, it has been both a commercial and critical success. However, criticisms include occasional bugs and glitches and concerns about weak endgame content impacting the game's overall polish. Pros of V Rising include impressive graphics, satisfying combat, ample content, and a fair yet challenging gameplay experience. On the downside, the game can feel grindy and repetitive, common in survival games, and persistent bugs may affect the overall enjoyment. V Rising offers a rewarding and unique vampire survival experience. With impressive graphics, engaging combat, and diverse activities, including castle building and exploration, it presents a well-crafted and challenging game. If you're a fan of vampires or survival games, V Rising is definitely worth exploring. And number 4 we have Midnight Fight Express, a modern beat-em-up with a relentless onslaught of violence, brought to life through extensive motion capture animations. Developed by a game developer and a couple of stuntmen, the game offers a frenetic combat experience that is both diverse and satisfying. You play Babyface, a one-man army facing a myriad of enemies, armed with an impressive array of combat moves reminiscent of the Batman Arkham games. The core gameplay, characterized by fast-paced and kinetic action, seamlessly integrates elements like dodging, grappling, and lethal finishing moves. As you progress through the skill tree, your repertoire expands, introducing ground pounds, uppercuts, power slides, and unique abilities like a rope for manipulating foes. The game's combat diversity is further enriched by hundreds of motion capture moves, contextual finishers, and a variety of weapons, from knives to firearms. While the story takes a back seat, the game's scoring system, level-specific challenges, and leaderboards enhance replayability across 41 diverse levels. Despite occasional interruptions from frequent and often unnecessary dialogue, the game's dynamic environments, including nightclubs, high-rise buildings, and satirical game studios, provide a varied backdrop for the intense combat. The only significant drawback lies in the awkward placement of finishers and the revolver on the same button. Nevertheless, Midnight Fight Express stands out as a great brawler, offering depth, variety, and satisfaction in its blood-spattered combat. As it competes with other genre contenders, the game's excellence in motion capture and combat mechanics makes it a compelling choice for those seeking an accomplished beat-em-up. And number 5 we have Jurassic World Evolution 2, a park-building simulation game where you manage a dinosaur-themed park. Set after Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, the game features a narrative-driven campaign, new modes, and improvements over its predecessor. You'll enjoy the revamped Chaos Theory mode, where what-if scenarios let you play through iconic moments from the 5 Jurassic movies. Managing your park comes with the added challenge of unpredictable dinosaurs like velociraptors, who will likely test your skills. Velociraptors are notoriously tricky to handle, adding tension to the gameplay as you try to maintain control over these creatures. The park management system has been refined, and is actually quite notable. You'll lead a team of scientists responsible for tasks like dinosaur rescue, research, and medicine. The introduction of specialized teams ensures more dynamic management, but also adds to your workload. The pacing is smoother thanks to the option to speed up time, though it comes with risks, such as escaped dinosaurs, that can tank your park's reputation fast. The game excels in making you feel in control of the park, while balancing a variety of tasks like building, breeding dinosaurs, and handling emergencies like storms. Managing paths and enclosures is easier now, and while some frustrations remain, like tricky vehicle controls, the game overall offers a rewarding challenge. With its new mechanics, improved systems, and thrilling chaos, Jurassic World Evolution 2 is a must-play for fans of the franchise. It's an engaging evolution of the series that keeps you hooked. And number 6 we have Easy Delivery Co., a lo-fi driving adventure where you play as an anthropomorphic cat tasked with delivering packages across a frozen, mountainous landscape. From the moment you hop into your tiny K-truck, you're thrust into a world that feels like a peculiar blend of Animal Crossing coziness and Silent Hill unease. The PlayStation 1 style aesthetics, with their chunky pixels and foggy draw distances, perfectly capture a sense of isolation that is both comforting and haunting. The core gameplay loop is deceptively simple. You accept jobs through a smartphone, load cargo, and navigate snowy roads to reach eccentric shopkeepers. However, you must carefully manage your survival. If you stay out in the sub-zero temperatures for too long, or let your energy meter bottom out, you risk freezing to death. You'll find yourself constantly chasing the next payout to afford truck upgrades, like ice chains or winter tires, which are essential for reaching new regions like snowy peaks. As you progress, the atmosphere shifts from relaxing to surreal. The residents begin to glitch, and a dark mystery regarding a former driver named Seb starts to unravel. While the driving mechanics are smooth and the drum and bass soundtrack is stellar, the game's 5-hour runtime may leave you wanting more mechanical depth. Nevertheless, if you enjoy brain-off activities spiced with a lingering sense of dread, this game delivers a unique atmospheric experience that proves less can indeed be more. At number 7 we have Cassette Beasts, an indie RPG that channels Pokemon nostalgia, but with a twist. Instead of capturing creatures with Pokeballs, you use cassette tapes to record them. This game is aimed at fans who grew up with Red and Blue, but are now older and want something quirky with a touch of adult humor. Set in a vibrant world of 3D backgrounds and pixel art sprites, you battle using 120 unique monsters, like a traffic cone-wielding crab or a bullet-themed creature. The twist is that battles revolve around transforming and fusing monsters, where strategic type interactions cause chain reactions. For example, fire melts plastic into poison, adding a layer of depth that feels both familiar and new. Battles are typically 2-on-2, with you and a companion who can also transform and fuse with monsters. The game shines with its humor, from jokes about capitalism to villains resembling landlords, preying on the poor. It is full of nostalgic references, like using a pencil to rewind your creature, which will resonate with those who remember actual cassette tapes. However, as you progress, the initial charm fades. Despite its innovative mechanics, the game's battles can become repetitive, and the leveling system lacks incentive to keep capturing new creatures once your team is set. Ultimately, while Cassette Beasts delivers a fun, nostalgic experience with a unique twist, it struggles to surpass its Pokemon roots. It is more of a delightful remix than a genre evolution. At number 8 we have My Friendly Neighborhood, a survival horror adventure that reimagines childhood nostalgia as something deeply unsettling. You play as Gordon, a repairman sent to investigate a creepy broadcast from a long-defunct puppet show. What begins as a simple tech job quickly devolves into a surreal nightmare of talking puppets, eerie sets, and cryptic puzzles. You'll explore abandoned studio sets, fight off immortal felt-covered foes using quirky weapons like the Rolodexer, loaded with literal ABCs, and wrap defeated puppets in duct tape to keep them down. While it draws clear inspiration from classic Resident Evil games with inventory management, typewriter-style saving, and locked door puzzles, it leans more toward quirky discomfort than gore-soaked terror. The puppets are both hilarious and disturbing, often muttering nonsense or bickering with each other in the dark. The environments are creative and diverse, from crayon-colored corridors to behind-the-scenes workshops full of unnerving detail. The game rewards exploration, offering collectibles, secrets, and unlockable game modes, including the post-game Neighborhood. What makes My Friendly Neighborhood stand out is its balance, equal parts creepy, clever, and comical. The horror does not come from jump scares nor violence, but from the surreal dread of childhood memories turned inside out. And while it's not brutally difficult, it constantly keeps you engaged with tight pacing and charming weirdness. If you're tired of horror games that are just blood and screams, this one offers a refreshingly offbeat take that still knows how to unsettle. Come for the hugs, stay for the horror. At number 9 we have Sorry We're Closed, a retro-inspired survival horror game where you play as Michelle, a heartbroken shop assistant thrust into a surreal nightmare by a seductive, heart-hungry demon named the Duchess. If you're a fan of old-school survival horror, like Silent Hill or Resident Evil, this game channels their spirit with fixed camera angles, eerie corridors, and unsettling encounters. But unlike its inspirations, Sorry We're Closed pairs its horror with surprising emotional depth and stylish flair. You'll find yourself exploring a hellish dreamscape, where talking crows devour dreams, seductive demons haunt your sleep, and every character hides something beneath the surface. The story unfolds in a persona-like cycle. By day you explore the town, chat with a cast of charmingly flawed locals, and shape relationships through dialogue choices. By night, you're plunged into twisted dungeons where you must survive traps, puzzles, and combat, though the combat is arguably the weakest part. Fights are frequent and awkward, sometimes dragging the pace down just when you're most invested in the atmosphere or story. Still, what keeps you hooked is its clever writing, rich world building, and your growing third eye, a literal demonic gift that lets you peek into an alternate, sinister reality. This mechanic adds a unique layer to both exploration and social interactions, revealing the darker sides of everyone you meet. Sorry We're Closed is not just a horror game. It's a weird, heartfelt, and stylish descent into loneliness, desire, and second chances, if you can survive the night. And number 10 we have Bomb Rush Cyberfunk, a vibrant futuristic platformer that blends Y2K nostalgia with modern flair. In this anti-cop roller-skating graffiti adventure, you embark on a mission to go all city, overthrowing rival crews while painting the town with your crew's mark. The game captures the essence of late 90s and early 2000s aesthetics, with its chunky visuals, bold colors, and banging soundtrack. You'll find yourself immersed in gravity-defying combos, from grinding on rails to pulling off tricks that boost your score. The tagging system, where you spray graffiti via a fun minigame, is both intuitive and rewarding. Each sprawling cityscape is a playground, filled with hidden collectibles, quirky NPCs, and varied challenges. Every skateboard, bike, and pair of rollerblades feels smooth and responsive, modernizing the nostalgic mechanics of Jet Set Radio and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. The world building is quirky and engaging, though the narrative feels a bit thin. The characters lack depth, and the story does not always mesh seamlessly with the gameplay. Still, the city's design and its themed boroughs, like a basketball court ruled by the Flash Prince, keep the game fresh and exciting. Exploring feels dynamic, rewarding creativity and risk-taking at every turn. The soundtrack is quite a feature, with rhythmic electronic beats that elevate every moment. It's a celebration of an era that combines analog grit with digital dreams. Whether you're a nostalgia seeker or a newcomer, Bomb Rush Cyberfunk is a thrilling ride through a vividly imagined graffiti-filled world. And that's all for this bundle. This bundle is an absolute win for Steam Deck owners. With heavy hitters like V-Rising, Bomb Rush Cyberfunk, and the Tomb Raider 1-2-3 Remastered collection, your handheld library is about to level up. The value here is insane, especially if you go for the 5-game tier to hit that sweet $7 per title price point. Whether you are grinding indies or reliving classics, this bundle is a must-buy. Grab your loot before the timer runs out. In any case, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if this video was helpful, feel free to leave a like and subscribe, and maybe consider buying the channel a coffee. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.